All right, I want to do a video on the different methods there are for us to be able to make artificial rock or faux rock or fake rock. But I've come up with 13, and I've challenged thousands of my students, literally. There are no other methods. You're not going to come to my training and I'm telling you I'm going to show you every way known to man to make rock, and you're going to leave and say, well, you didn't show me all the ways, Jim. I saw two guys over here doing it this way and you didn't show me that way. It's not going to happen. So here's the list that I trained from out of my tech manual and have for decades. This has been my list, and I haven't diminished anything from the list nor added. Right now, I'm going to focus in on just 1 through 8 because, frankly, 9 through 13, people, I've got videos on my channel. Nobody watches them. Everybody wants to see something made with rebar and lath or cardboard or some other mortar-based, solid fill method, I call it. But even the earthen rock is something that people aren't as interested in. But these are all viable, logical methods to building, and I've used every one of them, and I keep them in the toolbox because I may use them again. Okay, starting from the top of the list, the first 4 are very similar. They all say solid fill, but then on the right side of each one of them, you're going to see the first one's real rocks. I go gather up real rocks. That's my building material. Rubble, broken brick is rubble. Broken concrete, broken whatever solid fill rubble you can find. That's what you're going to use. Next is solid fill, but it says block or brick. Now, I've stacked up uniform brand new bricks, or that I didn't pay for them like at Lowe's or Home Depot. I bought them, got them used, that kind of thing. But I used to make walls, and I'd use block, 8/16 cinder blocks, stack them up, mud them, and then start using real rubble to, like I do with the styrofoam. You're going to see that in a little bit. I throw on a vertical surface, I throw some mud, then I stick and embed rock into it, or foam or whatever, recyclables. I take pop bottles and stick them in the mud and wait for that to dry, throw some more mud, stick some more pop bottles. There's a lot of ways of using these materials, but real rocks, rubble, block or brick, and then the recyclables are truly whatever is recyclable, like recycling centers. Styrofoam comes to my mind first and foremost because I can get all kinds of different size chunks. Pop bottles, as I said, cans, those types of things. I even took milk bottles, milk jugs, plastic milk jugs. We had like 20 of them, and I was building rock with that and covering over with mud. But still, a little mud, little solid fill, little mud, solid fill. That's the thing here. I just swept up all of the foam that I had cut, and I put it in this bag because I was going to store it. And then I remembered back in the day, we used to live in a little town in Arizona called Wickenburg. They had a landfill. The landfill closed. It was about an hour to Phoenix to go take my construction garbage or have a big dumpster or whatever. It was just not something I wanted to spend money on because I used to go dump at the landfill for free. So I came up with an idea, and this is not one of those contractor bags that is thicker, it's a thinner. You can take a sheet of 6 mil plastic, put garbage in it. Now when I say garbage, I'm speaking about garbage that are, true recyclables. Not any food product. A lot of people say, can I put leaves, Jim, in a bag? The leaves will decompose. They can create a bacteria, mold. That's not something we're after. So, like in this case, polystyrene is definitely something recyclable. Paper, aluminum cans, I don't care what you got. Funny story was, in 2002, we were remodeling our house because we sold it in 2002. And I was remodeling the kitchen, and I had just put a new dishwasher and set the dishwasher on the front porch. And my son came up and says, what do you want me to do with the dishwasher? At that time, we had a beautiful rock pool. It was about 4 foot out of the ground because the land went like this and the pool was sticking up, flush to the desk. And then over here was about 4 foot tall out of the ground. And I said to him, go set it by the waterfall, by the spa. And just literally put it up against the boulders. He looked at me like I was crazy. I took some mud and I just covered that rock, that dishwasher. And it looked like a square hub. And then I started sticking some more mud. And at that time, I was real big into, we always had styrofoam chunks. And I would literally stick chunks in areas like a topo map on geologically speaking. And I would build that out to where all my rock at that point was like the round granite. So I made that dishwasher into a boulder and I got rid of it because we didn't have a landfill. I don't care what you've got. If you pile it up and coat over it, you'll have a bulk shape. I've made some big features before with a lot of different, like broken concrete. We're taking a pool deck up around a pool that was 40 years old. We were rehabbing it, remodeling it into a rock pool. All the pool decking, I laid a little mortar, a little rubble, a little mortar, a little rubber, and we built up big waterfalls with it. I wasn't hauling it away. Depends on what I have at my disposal at the time to say, what am I going to build with? In this case right now, I'm going to take this bag of polystyrene and we're going to do what I call recycle rock. With some, we had a bunch of cement bags on this project amongst some other trash. And I just started putting in the bags, different size that I fill them, and I just stacked them up. Then I take that pool deck brush and I splatter what we call a stabilizer coat. It's about 3/4 of an inch. Doesn't have any fiber. I do like the glue in it though, so I just coat that with about 3/4 of an inch. Tomorrow you can come by and actually put weight on it. It won't jiggle, it won't wiggle, and it'll be what I call stabilized. And I'll build a rock right over it, or a rock outcropping, a waterfall, a big thing. So right now, the first thing to do is to try and cinch this up to where the rock is only going to be as big as much as you fill it, and this bag is not plumb full. So right now, and you don't want the material inside to poke a hole through the bag, but I'm just going to go ahead and spin that. And it's got a little air in there, that's okay. Now I'm going to take that, or tie it, into a knot. And then, I don't like these corners on the bag, so a lot of times what I do is I get them up, I fold them over, and just put some tape on them. They don't come undone. Now this bag is cement dusty. I'm going to go all the way around it. Keep those corners down. I've made it one time around. Now I'm going to change direction, and I'm going to go around it. I want to hit this little guy and keep him in place. This guy is going to be a boulder right in front of you. I don't care what you put in there as a form to get a generic bolt shape. I'm not saying, like in this case, we were hoping to end up with something that was more precise to the outcome that we were seeking, okay? Here, you're not necessarily going to get a perfect hub or a bulk shape, but you'll get a bulk shape, and it won't cost you nothing. Air is free, and by the way, I just got rid of some trash. Now, if it's built in place, you don't got to turn the rock over and yank all this stuff out. If I was selling this rock and it was a hollow rock and it was meant to be lightweight, I'd be taking the trash out. I'm not selling it to my customer like that, but most of the stuff that we were building were built in place. I'll make a rock out of this so fast it'll make your head spin. What else can you use? I'm very much wanting to make a form, a bulk shape, that'll be air. Keep that in mind. We're going to make a rock out of this dog. But this one, which was just the garbage bag with the mesh over it, is now, again, real strong, and it's just one coat. Okay, next is 6, which is rebar and lath. It's really the most used in the industry. Here, I've just taken some sheets of it, made like a garbage can, and filled it with cement bags. This job is a before picture, which then led to this feature, which I broke the wall out so I could make it pop back out towards the desert, and then built this lovely little waterfall. And, basically just after I poured the pond, I broke the wall out. There's some rubble I used, believe it or not. And then I cloaked it with rebar and then the expanded metal. And then I'm stuccoing it just to give it a structuralness. And then I start popping it out with more rebar and lath and also solid fill technique that we talked about earlier. I've done a lot of water features onto pools, existing pools, and I've made boulders by using expanded metal without even the rebar, just screwing the metal directly to the plaster and then mudding it, and it's a form, and you solidify the form being molded to the pool by cementing it. I'm going over a waterfall feature, which was already existing, and that was a rebar and lath job. Okay, this is a 2 waterfall grotto project that I did back in 2001. I'm kind of embarrassed by it now. I don't really like it, but here's the start of the grotto, just supported up with 2x until we get mud on it and then it gets rigid. We're also making an equipment area here. You can see the pool equipment in the back there, but this is a big wall. Inside it's smooth, the rebar just holds it up, and then we're making little baskets with garbage. Here's the, before we stained it, just testing the waterfalls, and then the equipment area. And again, landscaping softened this quite a bit, but that's another project. This is a spa. You can see it in the shadow area, but the equipment area is on the left side, and there's a cantilever overhanging grotto kind of effect with the waterfall. Okay, skipping number 7, cardboard, because I have 3 videos that are on my channel that cover about 35 different projects, and it's extensive. So just scroll through the last year of cardboard projects where you see 12 and 20 and I think 30, and just take a look at those. But right now going into earthen, which is like an older technology like Adobe, and our soils in Arizona at the time when I developed this was very much a clay base. And if you don't have a clay base, you got a sand base or a gravelly base, you can just add Portland cement, 1 shovel to every 3 or 4 of your dirt, and believe it or not, you'll come up with an earth and rock formula that will be much cheaper than making it a regular. But anyway, looking at the projects here, this particular one right here is just a rock, but I'm noticing that there's rubble in amongst it. So I'm using the dirt mud like a mortar and just mudding a solid fill of a little bit of rubble mud, a little bit of rubble mud, and that's a way of doing it. The next one is a full-on mud, but even at the bottom steps, I see a couple of pieces of concrete in there. So I know that that was a pretty deep, about 4 foot deep. It was between the spa and a planter on my pool, and the kids would play volleyball and basketball, lose the ball to the grass area, and had no way of getting down. So I made this to make it easier to get down. But this is totally solid, and it saves a lot when you do it with rubble and dirt mud. This project was my very first dirt mud. It was back in 1996, and I had been making adobe off of a property that I had to make bricks, and I got the idea. I thought, what if I covered my dirt mud with a good hard shell of cement that I fiberized and glued? It was my beginning of that movement, and you can see the close-up here on the left here. There's definitely dirt mud. This is dry. It's not wet because it's light and it's not dark like the last photo. But anyway, this you form out with the dirt mud until you get the image you like, and then I coated just a 3/4 inch of mud over it, and the end result was decades long lasting. And here's a picture. I think it was about 5 years after the project was built, where the landscaping has really taken hold. But dirt mud is a good way of doing it. This particular job here, every rock that was made on this thing was just simply dirt that we had gotten from grading the overall lot, because it was a new home construction and we were just landscaping all the way around it. So we made a pile of dirt, put a mixer by it, added water, and literally formed rocks with the dirt mud, and then encapsulated them with a 3/4 inch lay of the mud, and voila, you got yourself a project. So dirt mud can save you quite a bit, and it's